While speaking at BYU last year, former Senator Jeff Flake said that our system of government works, but it only works when the two major political parties talk to each other. Today, America is experiencing a complete breakdown in governance because Democrats and Republicans refuse to cooperate or even talk to each other. Bill Schneider, a respected political analyst, observed that Americans are more divided today than perhaps any time since the Civil War. Through several years of study as a political science student, I have come to believe that growing political polarization poses the greatest threat to America today, even more than war, terrorism, or even the current COVID-19 pandemic. I also believe firmly, though, that we still have time to turn things around and mend the divide in our country. Today, I will first show you why political polarization is so damaging. And then second, I will show you what each of us can do to turn things around and heal our country. First, let's take a look at how divided our country has become. This graphic from Pew Research shows what the country looked like in 1994. As you can see, back then, a majority of Democrats and Republicans overlapped and agreed with each other on political issues. But here's what the country looked like in 2017. As you can see, there's almost no overlap between Democrats and Republicans. These graphics demonstrate a reality that you are all well aware of. You've all seen family members and friends viciously attack each other in the comment sections of Facebook posts. In 2018, we all witnessed the longest government shutdown in American history because the two major political parties could not create compromise. Increasingly, it feels like Democrats and Republicans are living in completely different worlds. And if rancorous partisanship and rampant tribalism continue to fester and grow in our country, then the day will come when the machinery of American government ceases to operate altogether. We cannot allow that day to come. We cannot allow the flame of American liberty, which has ignited the fire of freedom in the world, to be extinguished. We cannot allow growing political polarization to end that great experiment in government that is American democracy. For the sake of future generations and the world, we cannot allow this government of the people and for the people to be torn apart by the people. The good news, though, is that we still have time to turn the tide. We can end the cycle of destructive partisanship and heal our broken nation. But it starts with us. So first, each of us needs to critically examine the way we treat those who have differing political opinions from our own. Do we treat them with less respect and civility, online, in person, behind their backs, or in public? Or are we quick to assign them negative stereotypes? Or do we automatically dismiss their opinions because of their different political affiliation? Second, if we only get our news from one source, especially if that source leans strongly left or right, then it's time for us to add more news sources to our daily consumption so that we don't end up in a partisan echo chamber of our own making. And third, if all of our friends and family members vote the same way, then it's time for us to expand our social circle. Thomas Jefferson said that were people to mingle only with those of like mind, then every man would be an insolent being. So, if we do know people who vote differently than us, then now is a great time to reach out to them and learn their life story and why they vote the way they do. Now, I'm not advocating that everyone become an independent or a centrist or even a moderate like myself. You should hold on to your strong political values and beliefs, but start to engage with those who have different beliefs and values in a more respectful and civil way. And as you do so, I promise that you will find that there is more that unites us as Americans than divides us into Democrats and Republicans. Growing political polarization poses a dire threat to our country, but we can turn things around. I challenge each of you not to be a divider but a healer in your community. Examine the way you treat members of the other political party. Expand your news sources and make a friend with someone who votes differently than you. Our government works, but it only works when Democrats and Republicans talk to each other. So let's heal our country by talking together again.